my 3 favorite things on this 2020 Porsche Macan. I've got 2 of them right here. Number 1, that clock. That is elegant and sexy and right as rain. Number 2, the key fob is actually in the shape of a car. I love it. We couldn't mess up this sculptured rear end right here on this Porsche Macan. There's no way we could screw up this muscular, flexed rear end by putting some kind of a button to launch the trunk. So what we do, what did Porsche and Volkswagen and everybody else do in Germany? My GoPro battery went dead, so we got to do this a different way. But you have the key fob in the Porsche Macan. Right here's the key fob. It's in the shape of a car. I think it's really cool. But this is how you start it right here. This doesn't go with you. This stays in the car. It's right there. And that's about the extent of the fun. The fun part of the review is over. Now it's time for Casey to bring in the hammer. Okay, you're looking at a 4-cylinder turbo SUV. Matter of fact, it's got 248 horsepower and 273 foot-pounds of torque, which means my Ford Maverick will blister this thing. Leave this thing for, crossbones, leave it for dead somewhere. 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. Now I know what you're going to say, Casey. The Macan S is 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds and 378 horsepower. Well, this ain't the Macan S. This is the base model. Do you know that Porsche could charge up to $2,300 to put leather on the center console? Gonna charge $2,300 to put leather on the console, and you got whipped up and blistered up by a Ford Maverick and a Ford Bronco Sport. Listen, I believe that's a little bit called price gouging. I believe it's a little bit of joke. God, it's actually freaking disgusting if you want to know. 4,100 pounds, so she's okay. She's about 2 tons. She can tow 4,400 pounds. That's right in line with everything else. It is built off of the Audi Q5 platform. Now, it only uses the frame because the engine, the transfer case, the suspension, the exterior, the interior, that's all Porsche. That ain't got no Audi, that's all Porsche. Specific to the MACAN, the Macan, the macadamia nut. Every time I see Macan, I just think of macadamia nut. Don't know why, it makes no fucking sense, but I do it anyway. This has a 19.8 gallon fuel tank, and now it's a 4-cylinder turbo, so you'd expect it to be some kind of eco. It has an eco mode. Well, that's not really true. 19 miles per gallon in the city and 23 on the highway. Oh, by the way, she takes premium fuel. You have to get a premium package to get heated seats on this thing. It does have a power liftgate and power rear seats. The upholstery is absolutely beautiful. Car and Driver rated this a 10 out of a 10. I'm not for sure about all that. I mean, is it bougie? Yes. Does it have that Porsche emblem staring at you? That clock is very nice. I can't argue with the clock. You're going to start somewhere around 50 grand for this thing, and you could run them all the way up into the 70s, possibly the 80s, depending on how many times you option that $2,300 worth of cow ass in your car. It also competes with the Jaguar F-Pace. Save your money. Buy a Ford Bronco Sport, or maybe a Ford Maverick.